Good morning, friends, and everybody who's watching the program. So, here I stand before you as a woman, a representative of all working folk, and as a member of the Catholic ministries, and as a Christian woman. Here, especially, I come to speak about the workplace where I have worked and faced the problem as such. And God's presence in every place where I go, I work, and I faced the issues and the challenges I have taken. And here I am with full my experience of nearly 35 years of my career. Here in my presentation, I have structured in a way that it goes as 4 segments. So before I could start my presentation, I thank you, GIIC, for getting me here. So this is my first um, program, that is where I'm going with the Christian ministry. These days I was with the secular groups, and here this is my first one. I'm very much privileged to be here to with you all with the love. This is what God's plan to bring me at the end of my career or whatever my life I may say. So I'm so happy, and I thank Joachim for introducing me here, and Craig when we met the first time. Then I felt the love. So this is God's plan to meet these very lovely people. So when I go to my presentation, this is, as I told you, it is 4 segments. The one will be my workplace where I worked with non-Christian organizations. And the next will be working with Christian organization. And the third will be my profession, that which was my passion too. And the fourth one is my personal life. Why I kept my personal life last means, see, normally people used to introduce themselves, the personal life first, but it will be vague if I present my personal life in the beginning. So, which is very meaningful. That's why I want to bring it to the end. So let me start with my the first segment. So this, I'm not going to speak about my topic. So that also goes to the end. So here I start with my working with non-Christian organization. The day I remember when I completed my first training, when I joined an office, my mom prayed in the morning. See, I was a personal life. I have to explain you that I was a widow. I was widowed at the age of 23 with a child. So my mom was a little bit scared. So she prayed in the morning before that. The first day I'm going to my office, my mom prayed, Lord, here I'm giving this, sending my child, a young woman, a widow. So take care of her, because this is a day where she starts her life survival effort. So be with her, bless her, because she's going to face the whole life with hardship. That was her prayer. That is obviously a mother's prayer. So with there my career started. So when it comes to working with non-Christian organizations, first we'll go. I have planned it this way. In every segment, there will be challenges, then the commitment and the coping method I have, how I face the things. So here comes first the challenges. The first challenge was more work, because I was not used to do that much work. I was learning. And I found it too difficult. The more work, the suppression, and discrimination. When we come to more work, I joined as a typist because that was my qualification. Not even a stenographer in that organization. It was only a typist to type the identity cards for the government organization. It was a private concern, so always I was typing. And the next work was where I joined was an auditor office. You know very well those days no computers were not there. Only the typewriter was there. The whole day, starting from 9:30 till 5:30, with the typewriter only whole day I was typing. But I could see the seniors, they'll spend time very leisurely, and who were the first, the freshers, they'll put more work. The reason they'll show you have to learn. So they make us to work more. So that was very strenuous for me. Then I keep working. And the suppression. That was a fresher. She doesn't know anything. Only whatever she sees, she types. So those were the things. So we don't have any voice. Even if I'm sick, I cannot able to express it out. And the discrimination was, first thing, I was a Christian. It was a secular organization. People from many religions worked there, but I was the only Christian. And the second thing, I was the only woman. And the woman with the other thing, the widow. So they were not that much comfortable with me to go with. Even any of the occasions, the celebration they go, they won't invite me. Because even in the Ayudha Puja, that other Deepavali or religious things, they won't make me to stand in front. They'll ask me to go back. Not directly. They make, you can understand, I think, they make the arrangement in such a way I have to stay back. So that was the discrimination. They always used to tell, these Christians have got converted for a piece of bread. So that was too painful for me. And even that widowhood, poverty was there. So I had to bear everything. What was my commitment on all these issues? The challenges was, my commitment was, first comes livelihood. One child is there, I have all the responsibility to take care of the child. And the second one was the virtue. I'm a woman. I have to prove that a widow is not a wrong point at all. She is also a human being. She has her own responsibilities. She has her own commitments. So those were the virtues. As a Christian woman, I have to prove Christians are not a cheaper personalities. They have their own values. The scripture teaches them the value of virtue, womanhood, widowhood. Everywhere it is mentioned in the scripture. So that was my virtue and the reputation. You know very well that was my first job and the second job. So I had to be there in those days. When we leave a job and go and join in another office, it is always they'll call the previous employer and ask about us. How was her performance? How was her character? How was her commitment? So for that reputation, I had to stay there for years together to make myself. So my experience was 2 years in this organization, 3 years in this. So to make that reputation was my commitment. And the third comes the coping method. How I managed it was hard work. I accepted. Here comes the acceptance. Yes, this is the part of my job. So it is the 8 hours I'm giving. I have been hired. Now the new language is hired. Those days we were like servants. So 8 hours is given to me. I had to work. So hard work. I faced it. I worked it. And the patience that I have got in myself, very patience that came to my from my father. My father always used to tell me, be patient, bear everything, contemplate on it. That was my father's guidance and the compassion. In spite of all the things the people were against, it was like that, it was against me. So all the reasons what I told, but still I maintain that compassion every day. I go there, I wish them to each and every table and come back. Because I want to show them I don't have any remorse or any hatred towards you. So I'm okay today. So I used to start the day like that. Next slide. So here comes my second segment. We'll be visiting again from the first segment. Okay. Now, working with Christian institutions. I moved from Chennai to Bangalore. So this is entirely new place with new language. And the job also obviously new. But here, new for the Christian institution. The secular work was entirely different from this Christian institution. It was a theology college where the youngsters, the theology students who have been committed to the religious life were studying over there. So it was entirely new. And the separation. What was the separation here? It is in Christian institutions. We have values. We have respect for each people, right? But there too, there was separation because I am a lay person, they are the religious people. Lay people are working there. They have their own commitments, they know their own worries. But it was not meeting with the expectations of the institution. And the harassment with the co-workers. I have experienced many harassments in the workplace. But here it was different. They treat entirely differently. This woman is new. How can she come and held up here? Because the people might be knowing her earlier, so they are showing special concern towards her, like they started harassing me. They have been working for years together. Here, my commitment was same livelihood. Because I'm a single woman, I have to take care of my child. Because he's grown up, transferred to a new place, and he's started his studies again. And the virtue again comes. Here it was challenging because I'm working with the religious people. Those are bachelors, unmarried people. So we should maintain our discipline, our commitment on the virtue. As a woman, as a widow, a single mother, so many things. And the reputation, same here because I'm new to Bangalore. But here the reputation is, these many years I have been worked, but how can they always balance that? How she could have worked there? Chennaites, they are rowdies, like that taboos were there. So I have to stand on my reputation. And the coping method, how I cope it. So the dedication here started. I have to show my son. He started his training. Then he may be going to join in an organization. So this dedication, I have to teach my child, whatever is the hardship, we have to work there because this work is a commitment. Always for me, it is a commitment. So my dedicated work was high cobra. And the social responsibility, here you can wonder what is all these days no responsibility for this woman. Here social, what is this social responsibility? I thought these days I have been working with secular institute for my livelihood, but here it comes two ways. I have equal responsibility to work for the kingdom of God. My contribution to the religious people, the youngster who come here to study. I was a librarian there. I used to help with the contents, the material for their thesis writing, their research paper. So I used to help them. That because it's my duty as well, but still with dedication I help them to do that, and I have that responsibility. I should stand by that side to become a religious person. All cannot go and join in a religious congregation, but God is choosing whoever He wants. So I trusted, I believed in that. So I want to give my contribution. That was my social responsibility. And here comes the faith. These days, it was God fear. As a Christian, God fear was there. And here I realized the faith. We'll come again to talk more about that. And next slide. Yeah. Next slide. Yeah. So here, the profession. The end of that second segment, my retirement was over. That was in March 2023. My work is over. Then I started my profession. To become a psychotherapist counselor, I made my foundation in the year 2017 to make myself to become someone whose contribution should be there in the society. For the youngsters, my concentration is on the youngsters, the teens, and the children. So I made myself see anyone cannot go and advise someone, give suggestion. Then I thought, in what way I can reach out to the people. So that was through my with my degrees only I can go. So here again we can see in my psychotherapist counselor practice the challenges, the restrictions, because as in when I finished my degree on psychotherapy, I was appointed by NIMANS as a master trainer for the Tamil Nadu police. This is specially for the to avoid suicide among the police professionals. Many police people, we see them as a strong people who are saving us, safeguarding the society, but we see very number of people are committing suicide or attempting suicide. So that was a challenge. Why? Because the restrictions for me to go and practice there. What was the restriction? They have, the police professional, they have their own rules and regularities. So we have to follow that. So that restrictions, we cannot give our fullest support to the people. So it was helplessness. How to handle this? That was the challenge for me. Then my commitment comes, the goal. What was my goal? Reaching to the people. That was my, who is in need of psychological support. That was my goal. And the recognition. Definitely, I have to get a recognition. No? So I have to bear everything. So this is my first project. I have to prove myself, to get used to reach out more people, to know the things, the challenges. And that was to get that recognition and passion for my service. I thought it is my first project to show my passion, to get myself trained in my passion. So here, how I coped it is, coping method was compliance. So I was here ready to accept the restrictions, then the rules and regulations to follow, because that was the norms of that particular profession. So compliance and the social responsibility. Yes, here I am to avoid suicide among the people, the police. So I volunteered myself. I gave assurance. Apart from this rules and regulations, I am there available for you 24/7 to help you. See, as a woman, don't think I'm old and I cannot attend the call in the VRs and all, whatever it is. Call me anytime. Just remember me. When you are getting down, when you are feeling helpless, just give a call. I used to give my own personal number to the people. That is, it is part of our workshop to attend the people individually, to know what are their issues, what are they are going through, and in what way I can help it out. So I assured them my presence with them, at least to call them, I gave my personal number to them. That was my passion from the service. There started, and and the humanity. I'm not a police people. I'm not a doctor yet. But the social responsibility here to work with them because they are serving for the nation. If I go and tell them to have a sleep hygiene, they'll come up with the answer. How can we, ma'am? We have been deployed for 24 hours, 3 days together in particular place. To stand whole day, where can we have a sleep hygiene? So we give few ideas wherever you're standing. Just make yourself to relax for 5-10 minutes, close your eyes, meditate, and you will get that same energy. Like that, we used to do things, and I approached them with humanity, not biased that these people are like this, any particular issues, and the faith that I was carrying through. I had the faith. Then again, we'll go again to the first slide. I think the second slide.
Yes. So here I have a request.
Yes, please.
You put very good quotations.
Yeah.
You can just read them.
Yeah, no, I'm coming over. So this was my work, my workplace, and the challenges, commitment, those things. Now I'm coming to God's presence here, the whole my career. First thing. The first Colossians chapter 3 verses 23 says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart. As working for the Lord, not for the human masters. Since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward, it is the Lord Christ you are serving. I'm not serving for the master. Now you go and see. Now see, now here, the trust, the hope started here. Now I'm not seeing now, after my retirement, I'm not seeing it as a hard work. I'm not seeing it as a suppression. I'm not seeing it as a discrimination. This is what God says. Everything will be there. Be there to work for Lord. Lord who guides you. So here, the faith, what I was thinking it was God fear, but it was my faith. My commitment to Christ. Christ was with me. Next slide. Now, coming back here. Now I'm seeing it's a new job, but it is not a new job. This is what exactly Jesus wanted me to interfere in. Jesus wanted my commitment. He wanted my hard work. He wanted my social responsibility here. That's why I have faced all these things. When I'm seeing the harassment by a co-worker, now I see all the youngsters definitely will face these things. So I'm experienced enough to reach out to the people and go and see if they come up with the issues. I'm facing problems in my workplace. I'm ready to help them. I'm ready to answer them. So this was God's plan. Here, the dedication, the social responsibility, the faith. So that faith has become the trust here. Yes, I trust. Where hope comes? From the trust. The child go behind the father. Wherever he goes, he runs back. Why? He knows my father is there to take me care. So there God was with me and he held me. We might have read a fiction that on the seashore, 2 footsteps will be there. 2 people's footsteps will be there. So it says one is Jesus, the other one the person who's very close with Jesus. When it comes to next time, only one person's footstep is there, but this fellow is in trouble. He's asking, God, where were you? You told me you're walking with me. I'm coming with you. Where were you? I'm in trouble. So God says, poor, don't you trust me? That was this fellow is telling that only my footsteps are there. I was going alone. Where were you? So God says, no, that was my footsteps. I was carrying you. You were in trouble. I was carrying you. That was my footsteps. So this trust came here for me. The next slide. Here, Proverbs chapter 3:27 says, do not withhold good from those who deserve it when it is in your power to act. Here, people were in trouble. Don't keep away yourself from those troubles, restrictions, rules, and regulations. Be yourself because the people who approach you deserve it, your help, their timely need. So it is power to act. Where this power comes from God, whom I trust. God gave me the power when I'm in faith with them. And this, the last slide. Second. Now I'm coming to my first. About myself, the personal life. A single parent, as I told you. I have a child. I was married in the year 84 and I lost my husband in 87 by the time my son was 2 years, 3 months old. So I had that, was my challenge as a single mother to take care of my child. And the responsible woman. Here I'm not a responsible person, but a responsible woman. I'm proud to say I'm a woman. I don't call men are dominating nature or not. No. I lived with men. I worked with men. I am faced with men. I am now working with men. Everywhere men. But I was so comfortable with them. How? Women come with many complaints about men, but I don't. Why? Because I'm very special. I am always proud. I am unique. My prayer was not very deeper. I won't kneel down and pray for hours together, but every minute is a prayer for me. I conversate with God. I talk with God. God, you're here. You know everything. You know what I'm facing through, what I'm going through. You are there. I know your plans. So that trust was there. And here, the loneliness. I was alone. I was living with my family. My parents were there. My siblings were there. But still, that loneliness, that worldly, because I was alone without my husband. That loneliness. This gave me extra responsibility to act in a very compliance way, in a very meaningful way, to lead my life. That loneliness also gave me more space to think about myself, my passion, my future. These days, the society helped me to be a responsible woman. Now, here I am there to give back to the society. Every mother is my concern because I was a mother with a single child, single mother. So, every mother, I take of every mother's hope. So I want to reach out to the teens nowadays. Even I request everyone to take care of the teenage children. So here, my social responsibility as well, as a mother, as a woman, as a counselor, as a psychotherapist, as a person who's going to run a charitable trust. So my social responsibility, humanity, again humanity. I should not be prejudiced on the people that they are like this. I should not judge people. That's what God says. Don't be judged. And the faith. Here again, The faith. The mantra one in my heart always was, God says, don't sin. This was from the beginning to the end with me. Don't sin. It was a command by God. That was God expressed from each woman. Don't sin. So that faith ran in me. And here coping method was my sincerity. Sincere to my child. Because I am the only role model for him. I was sincere in that. I was sincere in my work. I was sincere with the people who were behind me. And I was sincere in every activities. And very cautious. Even we are very bold. Where we mingle with the people, we should be cautious as a woman. It is needed. We should not fall victim to any of the wrong things. So there, I was very cautious. This is very personal to me. I was very cautious in my act. And hope and trust in God. The God fear has transformed into faith, and it transformed into trust in God, that these years God was with me and now I'm trusting in God's plans. Always, whatever comes in my way, in my life, now I go and see back my life. The whole episode is like a planned story type. It's planned. That's why God has taken my husband earlier. That was God's plan. And He gave me all this life, that the struggles, the challenges, issues, everything was planned to make me a person of whole, to represent here as a woman, as a human, as a social worker, as a counselor. So here my trust says, so Colossians chapter 3:23 says, but by the grace of God, I am what I am. And His grace towards me was not in vain. On the contrary, I worked harder than any of them, though it was not I, but the grace of God that is with me. The grace, here comes the grace, the whole my life with God's grace. When we move next slide. So here, my conclusion, life of serenity, very simple. These days, so many stuff are there with my segments, but here only life of serenity. What it is? It is the people who work. I tell them, God is with you. It is God's plan. The whole day we are sitting in an office for 8 hours, 12 hours. Nowadays, people work for 24 hours. They are hired. There, hardships will be there, struggles will be there. Prove yourself. This is God's plan to prove yourself as a symbol to the working folk that you are committed to do your duty, and it is my time for this 8 hours, 24 hours, whatever it is, commitment. And that's what God teaches us. So always trust in God. God is with us. So life of serenity for the people who are working and the people who have already retired like me, that is just to turn back, peep into your life. The negativity, like me, so many negativity, but when we, after completing when we go and see, it is all not negativity. Those are the tests, the hardships that teaches us the lesson. And the what all positivity you have done, be proud of it, continue to do it. Like we used to tell the signal post, when we see red, we stop. When it is green, we start doing something new. When it is yellow, when we already started, it is going to fall, just we pass, otherwise we stay back. So whatever you are doing good, try to do like yellow signal. And whatever you are slacking back, just start a new venture. And whatever you don't feel comfortable, it is wrong according to the norms, just stop it. So the life here now, Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. So hope. Now comes the hope of beacon of hope. First slide. Now you see here beacon of hope. John 8:12 says, "My light will shine for you just a little longer. Walk in the light while you can, so that darkness will not overtake you." Here, Lord doesn't promise us, "I'll give you full light, you just walk." No, He's telling us, "I can give you, shine you little longer. Whatever you need, little longer I can extend you for you. But walk in the light while you can." And God is not promising us, "I will just remove darkness from there." No, He is telling darkness will be there. That is the challenge for us, the negativity. Darkness is there. And light, as longer you can, that darkness will not overtake you. So here we carry the light. We take the light. We walk. And that let's extend to the coming generation. We just show this trust to our children, how God had plans for us. He gave hope for us, and He was with us. He was carrying us, and He is continued to be with us till our eternal life. So here, what I want to be an icon. Always be a symbol of something. Just your passion. Trace that passion. Chase your passion, and be an icon, a model for it. So this is what I give to the society with my whole life experience. I don't know how much it will inspire the children or inspire the people, and whatever that, please pray for me where I'm lacking. You can now able to understand what was my struggle and what the things, my trust. If you want to tell something else to me, just log on to my website, focuscounselingacademy.com, and you can give your feedbacks and just my life. So here I take this opportunity to thank you all again to be patient to listen my presentation. And here I'm standing as a representative of a common woman who are going to take their life, start their life. I'm the representative for that. And whoever ends their career, the retirement, I'm the representative for them. And who is after that living their life, but live meaningfully. Don't think that this is over. Always think in your mind, something I have to do. I have more to do. I have more work to do. That this is for not yourself, for the society, for the children, the coming youngsters. With this, thank you all.